To here?
Huh?
How far are you seeing of me?
Enough. You
Oh,
want your I
no,
mean,
I don't want to show too much. I'm just asking.
well, you don't wanna give the people what they want.
No. You said what now?
Ooh.
I want to. Wait a minute. Take me slow. Take me slow, boo boo. I'm just making sure that you're just good. So if I need to sit up straighter, because I don't want to
First
be
of all,
what?
you're perfect.
Okay. Well.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
all good. Welcome to Jasmine's Closet.
Oh God.
I have a special in closet guest today. I'll let you introduce yourself because I might use words that you might, find not enough. Because I was going to say you're fantastic, you're fabulous. You're probably one of my closest and dearest friends. You're one of the most fabulous people that I know, and I'm just glad to have you in my closet.
Oh, that is so sweet. You get well. You're doing pretty good so far. So keep going.
Oh, damn. Well, I wasn't prepared to keep going. What the hell?
Uh,
Bernard, welcome to my closet.
Yes, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I mean, I am beyond thrilled and excited to be with the Jasmine Sanders. I mean, and her podcast. This is amazing. So,
Go on.
that's enough.
Would you like something to drink?
No, I'm good. Unless you got some water or my usual, your sparkling cider that you
We can't. You know what? I was about to say I'm not going to give water to somebody in my closet, but we do accommodate all guests here.
Yes, you do. You're very
So
accommodating.
the reason why I wanted to have this topic with you, this conversation, is because I think it's the perfect conversation to have with you.
Okay,
This,
before you get into that,
yeah.
I'm Bernard Underwood,
Oh, you know
interior
what?
designer. Um, also do outdoor
Excuse me.
living.
While you do that, I'm gonna check my Instagram.
Well, we never even
I'm
said
gonna
who
check
I
my
was. We
Instagram while
never
you do
said
all
who I
that.
was. So I'm like, I need to put that out there.
Okay, Bernard, who are you?
I'm an interior designer for the stars and above. And I do outdoor living and landscaping. I dress celebrities and events, parties, on and on and on. Anything to do with design and decor.
What's that got to do with the closet?
Well, did I help you design this closet? Okay, there we go.
I don't like people who show up and show out. I should
Well,
have known better.
right. I'm just gonna be me regardless, wherever we are. So I think that's why you like me as your friend, right? One of the many reasons.
Hey, Moiba. We can't see Moiba, but Moiba is off camera. Moiba, you can move those clothes right there if you want to sit down. But don't sit too close to this one here because ain't no telling what might happen.
Anything is possible. It's early. We're just getting started.
So, anyway, yes, you are. You are all of those things and so much more. You're also a very dear friend of mine, and I appreciate it. But we ain't gonna go down that rabbit
No,
hole.
we're not. You know what that
So,
means to me.
considering the climate that we live in, one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation with you is because I think you and I tend to be like-minded in most things.
Right.
Not all, but most things.
Yes.
Like when it comes to design,
Right.
but when it comes to everyday life,
Yeah,
we tend to think alike.
a lot.
But I had a conversation on the show today that made me feel like I might be out of touch. And I'm so glad that Moiba is in here, even though he's not on camera,
Uh-huh.
which is probably for the best. But that's not what we're talking about.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So the conversation today on today's show
Okay.
was how soon should you tell someone if you're transgender?
Oh,
Now,
my
before you
God.
answer that, I was the Lone Ranger. I was by myself because
Oh, no.
my answer was I don't think I should have to tell you all my business until there is some type of romantic situation on the table. Now, no one else, including Moiba, agreed with me. They felt as though as soon as a door was open for you, as soon as a drink was bought, as soon as a hello was given or a nod and a wink, right away you should say, I got balls. I disagree. What say you?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. This is why. Because most people they don't put all of their business out until you get to know them anyway.
Right.
So if it's somebody's personal business, until you're becoming involved with them in some kind of sexual way or something of the sort, that's when you should make sure that you reveal everything of that sort. And as you see it progressing, I think you should know within yourself to say, you know what, now is the time I think I need to make sure this is known. Nobody's going to go in and say, oh, I'm this,
That's what I
just
said.
meeting someone,
That's what I
you
said.
know,
And you
so
know what? This one over here that you can't see on camera was like, no, no, no. As soon as, and I'm like, okay, well, to be clear, I understand that yes, there's a lot of violence against members of the LGBT. What you need to do is be quiet. I'm just
uh,
playing.
no, she ain't.
No, but seriously,
She ain't playing.
I'm not playing. No, no, for real. Um, look, no, for real, be quiet.
I just
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
I
like,
think so too, because I think that if you nobody goes in and telling all of their business to anybody. I don't care what kind of relationship it is. You have to then work up to a place where you feel comfortable saying whatever it is.
so what do you think that point is? When is that point?
That point is, I think the person knows within themselves when that point is. When you feel like it's going down a road of making maybe becoming something serious, or that
So
it's
a
leading.
casual date, would
Well,
you say, "Hey, just so you know,
well, I think
I'm
if they,
Tammy now, but I was Timmy."
well,
First date, second date. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
and the reason I
it
say that is because a lot of people feel as though it's the bait and switch. Like you bait and then you switch, and now all of a sudden, there's violence, and now there's this whole narrative. So I'm trying to figure out what the line. I know what the line is for me. I already told you, right? And I'm not trans.
I,
I'm
nor, neither am I, and I just think that it all depends on the person, and I think if are comfortable with yourself and you know all of this stuff, da 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 da. But I think that you should have that conversation with that person as it progresses. Just like I think the more you tell about yourself as you date more, I think once you don't start out just saying everything, but as you date and see like that it's progressing into something, then you say, you know
now
what,
see
I
that's what I
think this
said.
is what we're at this point where we need to have this
And
conversation.
that's what I said. I even said, in a casual conversation, just because you hold the door open for me. And the pushback was, yeah, but I do that because you're a woman. And so I would want to know if you're not. And I said, well, at the end of the day, it's probably a lot of trans women that you've opened the door for and you didn't know. And they had no obligation to tell you that they were trans,
Just
especially if
because you
there was
open the door.
because you opened the door.
Right.
It just made no sense to me. I'm like, that doesn't
I
mean I'm
have to
romantically interested in
it's
you.
just like even if you let's say you have some other issues,
Wait a minute. What are
you know
the issues in the
well,
quotation marks?
I mean, like if you're just starting to date someone, maybe you have some kind of something that you
Like
don't
a
want.
hook
Yeah,
penis?
or no,
I think you should tell that right
no,
away
I'm not
too.
saying any of that foolishness.
Baby, if you hooking and
Look,
crooked, I think that's
oh
also
Lord
something.
Jesus, I'm on the wrong podcast. I'm
No, I'm
saying
just saying.
no. Let's say
That's called
maybe you have
Peyronie's
some kind
disease,
of
just so you know. I
a
think you should
VD.
say
You have
that.
a VD of sorts. You know what
A
I'm saying?
VD, a sexual disease. Yeah.
And
Okay, that's a good
you
question.
don't then
When do you
when
tell
you
that?
I think the same thing as it progresses. If you feel like this is going somewhere or may lead to that, hey,
Yeah,
let me tell you this so you know. Because if you're about to get intimate or going down that road with someone, then yes, you need to lay it all out on the line for them.
correct.
So
And
then they can
and
make a
FYI, the lay it all out should be before you lay it all
absolute,
out because by
absolutely.
then it's
You
too
shouldn't
late.
be
You can't
both
put
of y'all laying out and now you're trying to lay it out.
you
It's a
shouldn't be
little late for that part.
right. You shouldn't
You
be you shouldn't be laying low and
absolutely,
laying wide
absolutely.
and then release some information that
Right.
you
You
know what I
should be
mean?
telling all of that information
Correct.
prior to anything happening.
Right.
So
I
I
agree
think
with
it's
that.
the same thing,
I think I just
so
feel like I first of all, I feel like had a lot of not all, I don't make blanket statements or I try not to. I feel like a lot of heterosexual men are so nervous that they have these knee-jerk responses and opinions, which really, if you sit and have a full like educated thought, you might not feel that way. Because I think just like you said, when you first meet somebody, you
right.
don't right away tell them, I got a 300 credit score. Or
Right.
you don't right away tell them, I'm unemployed or I live with my mama. Although I think you might want to tell that up
Or
front.
even like with some women, they don't all automatically, I don't think they lead with, I got 6 kids.
Lead with that.
You know, you know, but Sam, they don't always lead with
Yeah.
that. They as they feel comfortable with the person, then sometimes it's not even up. You may not even go to the next date. So why am I sitting here divulging everything to you about my life,
And
and
that was my
and
point.
it don't go anywhere?
That was my point. My point
So
was you do not have um access or the right to have access to
Absolutely.
all of my personal information until I decide that I
Absolutely.
also am interested in you and
Right.
that we might give it a go.
Right.
Then I might want to be open and say to you, it's a
Absolutely.
couple of things,
Right.
literally and physically, that you need
Right.
to know about.
Right.
But I think, as Nikki Giovanni said, somebody walked off with all my stuff.
Well,
I'm not going to let you walk away with all my stuff.
well, and the thing about it, everybody has
Mhm.
something. Some may be greater than others or more.
Wait, what are we
You,
talking about?
just in life, everybody has something that they're dealing with. You're so crazy. Everybody's got something that they're dealing with. They may not want to put it on the front street, for everybody to know to begin with. But as you become more involved with someone, then you say, you know what? This is leading somewhere. Let me at least put this out here so they know, especially if it has anything to do with health wise. I mean, you need to be disclosing that information anyway,
Well,
you know?
before if you plan on getting intimate, because I
Absolutely.
think even in that case, it's
Absolutely.
my business if I have a particular health issue, and
Absolutely.
and I know in my head there's no way it's going to affect you because you and I are not even going down that road. And
Absolutely.
so my thing is, it's my personal business. I don't have to tell you anything
Absolutely.
until
Right.
it could potentially affect you.
Right.
But again, Lone Ranger on the show, everybody was like instantly, right
Well,
away.
I mean, but
I
I think
disagree.
it's easy for all of us or anybody to say you should do this, this, and this when we all have things that we don't do, which we should be saying first. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's got something.
Mm.
Do you want to lead with all your stuff that may not be good, to someone? Probably not.
Well, the other thing is, to be honest, I think when you first meet somebody, you're really putting forth a facade. It's all a
Yeah.
fake
The best
person.
you.
It's the best you, which really ain't
Absolutely.
the real you, because we all
Absolutely.
know we all a little gutter.
Right. And then you're
Not
like,
all of
okay,
us,
this
but
is who you really are, you know. But I totally agree with you. I think it should be a progression of sorts
yeah,
as you date or as you're getting more to know that person and you become more trusting in that person to then divulge your information or whatever it may be to say,
yeah,
you know what, I think, and if they like you or feel like they like you to that degree, it's not going to matter,
yeah.
and if it does, that's okay. And I mean, but you don't not tell them at some point, especially
Hmm.
if it's getting serious.
Now, here's the thing I don't understand, and perhaps you can help me. And I swear I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm really, really curious about it because I want to understand, and you may or may not know. The thing that's always baffled me is if you, and I'm gonna try to keep it straight because I don't want to be crazy. If you are someone who's born a man, but then you feel like you were really a woman, but you're still attracted to a man, right? So you become transgender, but you still are attracted to a woman. And then your partner, because I've seen these stories, your partner was born a woman, but felt more like a man, but was still attracted to,
All
like,
that.
it's just like I don't, and again, what I've been told is sex and gender are not the same.
Yeah.
Which initially, I'm not gonna lie, I could not comprehend that. That didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But now it does. I understand that the act of sex and whatever you're attracted to
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the gender that you might identify with. It's just so weird in my head that if you were born a man, but you feel like a woman, but you're attracted to a woman.
That is
Are you
crazy.
gay or are you non? I don't know. I just want to understand that.
That's all crazy to me. So I can't help you.
You can't hear me?
No. Because
Well, damn, if you can't help me,
like
it's like going to the Wiz and be like, "Hey, Mr. Wiz,
well,
I
it's
came all the way to the Emerald City, and you don't have no
well, it's
answers
it's
for
like
me."
you saying like if someone said, okay, they're born a man, but they feel like they're a woman, so they change to a woman, but they're still attracted to. Yeah, I mean, see, I'm already confused.
Yeah.
And then the other person they're with is like they're swapping, or they're changing. Let me change that up.
I know that's right. You
They're
don't get no.
changing.
We don't want no
They're going
problems.
the opposite ways so they can be together with each other.
Yeah, I
See,
don't
that's
understand it.
all that's too confusing.
So
And
then, should we just do away with gender?
Lord no.
Because
Um,
I feel like part of what we get caught up on is the gender. The she, he, the we, the they, the
Oh,
them. And so I feel
let's
like
not go down that
perhaps if we
road.
get rid of the gender, then you could I mean, I forget the term for it that when you're just attracted to any and everything.
Crazy. That's the term for that. I don't care. I don't care how you put that.
I'm just saying.
Look, and all these,
Oh, I think it's pansexual.
and all these people with this, and man, I think me and you've had this conversation in a
Yeah.
group setting where we've talked about they, them. I want to be known by they, them, he, it,
I
uh,
haven't heard it yet.
may,
I've never
maybe,
I've never heard it.
maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, all this. I mean, right. I mean, all of this crazy stuff. You are Jasmine
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to keep up with your pronouns, whatever they
Yeah.
may or may not be. And then these people that get upset because you don't know their pronouns or you mispronounce their pronouns. Honey, if you that mad about it,
Yeah.
you got other issues.
Well,
I think you have other issues to begin with anyway. Focus
well,
on those.
this is my thing that I don't understand, and I'm trying not to sound old fashioned and archaic, but I do wonder how it is that, okay, if I were to go and take a test, especially me being a journalism major,
Right,
and I used a plural pronoun for a singular human,
right.
I would get an F on that test. Because if I say, "Oh my God, they're outside," you would expect more than one person to be outside. And if you go outside thinking, "Oh my God, they came to my party," you be
Well,
thinking, "Yo, your party was lit." No, I had one person to my
yeah,
party.
and you looking around, where are they? And then they talking about
They is here.
I'm they.
They
Okay,
is here.
and they all stupid.
I mean, I kind of do feel like that. I'm not gonna lie,
All of them.
but
That
I
is
try to be
this.
respectful. But
I understand
again,
being
it's
respectful.
hard.
People want people to accept, and this is just generally in life. No one has to accept you.
Period.
If you
Whether
accept,
you in a dress,
absolutely,
pants, an
no one has
ascot,
to accept you.
nobody has to accept
You
you.
and if that's what you choose to do, just accept yourself and keep moving.
Right.
You
My
know?
thing is, I don't care what pronoun you use to call me.
Right.
Just call me.
Right.
When I'm looking for a job or I need some funds,
I don't think the
just
people at the
call
job
me.
gonna be saying, "We're looking for they. Can she
Right.
please? He
But
or
I think
please?"
we get hung up on all these things. And it comes down to people saying, well, I feel as though they were being disrespectful. Okay, they as in a singular person or plural.
And how can you be so sensitive about all of that when you have come into the knowledge of it just yourself recently, or whatever? When you found out that you are they,
And who told you you were they?
right? And
Who
how you
told
know
you
you
that?
ain't just you? You know what I'm saying? See,
Is you is or is you ain't? I mean,
well, right,
no, but it's a serious conversation. But I do also feel as though, the alpha generation,
yeah.
right? I feel as though by the time they come along and I'm assuming it will be the beta generation. I don't know what comes after
Lord,
alpha. I
I
don't
can't
even
even
know.
tell you.
But I feel like I honestly feel as though pronouns will be obliterated. I feel like you will now just Jasmine. Not she, not her, just Jasmine.
Yeah, I think it's just one more thing that people have made up because they don't have anything else better to do.
I think so.
It's just like that's what you want to focus on. I
Yeah.
think you have bigger issues,
Yeah.
bigger things that you could be focusing on. What are you doing? Like it's changing the lives of others, helping them. You know, but you worried about. They're
He
in the
don't
store.
really
They call
he
me. They
they
call.
don't really mean that.
They,
Meaning
no,
him.
they
They don't really
they
mean
call.
that.
They're no. I saw this one thing with this guy. He was at, I think it was at a Chick-fil-A or somewhere, and
First of all,
he was going off on this person. I told you to call me she and da da da. And then he said, "What do I look like to you?" And the guy said, "A man." And he flipped the camera on him, and he did like a man with a wig on.
that see
So,
to me, the bigger
so,
question would have
so
been, is my chicken ready?
right,
Are the fries still
right.
hot? Like what
So I
else
mean,
matters?
but people get so caught up on little these things that are really, I consider them to be non-relevant.
Yeah.
But you get so caught up in the. It's just like when the Bible says, it's the little fox that destroy the vine, not the big
First of
one.
all, there was no fox in the Bible.
Uh, I didn't say it was foxes. It was an analogy.
Because I was about to say,
Well, now, do you know your word
there
like
might have
that?
been a whale,
Mm-mm. See, you don't
Jonah
know
the
your word.
whale,
You
there
don't
was
know
a
your word.
lion or two,
See,
but it wasn't no damn fox
well,
in
you
the
know,
Bible.
everything was in the ark. So, see, you don't know your word. Baby, I know the word.
Come on, Moiba. He said the fox in the Bible.
I
Come
said,
on now.
well, the Bible says that it's the little fox that destroys the vine, not the big one. So it's the little things that you're sitting away
Is that in
nibbling at.
Ezekiel?
It's an analogy.
Okay.
Uh, you can find it in Bernard 2 and 4. How about that?
Okay.
Look,
Oh, ye of little faith.
right. Oh, yeah, big faith. So simply saying is like the things that you're sitting there nibbling at, that's what's destroying you.
Yeah.
You know, when there's a bigger picture of like you just living your life and doing what you do.
Well, I also feel, to piggyback on that, life is already so hard.
Absolutely.
It's already so
I
hard with so
totally
many
agree.
other things to worry about. The last thing I'm worried about is what pronoun you call me. For me, that's me personally.
Right.
And I do think that some people weaponize it. They weaponize it to either stand out or to,
Have this big chip on their shoulder
yeah. And I'm
about
like,
you
just
called me the wrong thing.
hold on.
Yeah.
What voice is that? Was that in
Oh,
the Bible too?
no.
Was that the fox?
No, that's not the fox food.
I just adore you, Bernard. I swear I do.
Oh, you know I love
I
you. You
just adore
are
you.
the
And
best.
let me just say this. The thing that I love the most is that you allow me to have these kinds of conversations and to ask you,
Yeah.
knowing that it's not coming from a malicious place, but I really want to know. And you allow me to have those
I
conversations.
mean,
Not saying that you speak for the entire community of whatever,
yeah.
but just between me and you as friends. I love that I can have just
I
a
mean,
conversation.
just the thing that we talk about everything, you know, so I think we talk about just life in general.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about life and how life happens and in those circumstances of life, I mean, I think that's one of the things that I truly admire about you because we can talk about it, any and everything and not be offended, whether it's current affairs or whatever. Or what do you think about this? What do you think about this craziness that's going on?
Yeah.
And I think when you have somebody that you can truly ask those questions to, that's not going to get offended, what do you believe or not? Because my thing is, I'm not trying to make anybody believe what you believe. You're just having a conversation. I think that's more that it's not happening. Most people is trying to convince people over to their side of this or their side of that. You're not trying to convince anybody of anything. We're just having a conversation about life.
Yeah.
You know, so when you look at it like that, you can have more conversations with people instead of walking around with these big chips on your shoulder as far as no, no, they did this. It's just a conversation.
Just a conversation. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you right now, the conversation I want to have is where you get these glasses from. Baby, where you get them?
You know, a little something, something.
Little something,
You know,
something. You come through always looking the good, doing the most.
look, I had to come with a little shade.
Now we ain't gonna get it. That's for the second episode of Jasmine's Closet. Thank you so much for stopping by,
Oh my God, it
Bernard.
was my pleasure. It was so much fun.
We gotta do this again.
I was so nervous at first because I was like,
Are you nervous a little on me?
what? Not even that. I didn't even know what the topic was going to be. It's
You
just
never
like
will.
surprise, surprise. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this, but I guess so. Well, you know, I
thank
love
you.
you.
And you know, you're always welcome to step inside my closet. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Just
Absolutely.
leave a little something, something for me.
You know, I
Like
did.
them shades.
Okay, I got you, boo.
You're so silly.
Peace out.